So, how do you really get a feel for a country as huge and as complex as modern China? I mean, you could read a ton of books, you could watch documentaries, sure. Or you could just learn how to read the signs, the visual language that's everywhere in its public spaces. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to dive into a whole collection of photographs and see what they tell us. Let's get into it.
Right off the bat, look at this. You've got someone in a cheerful red panda costume just hanging out next to a police barricade at night. It's whimsical, it's kind of weird, and it immediately makes you go, huh? What does a scene like this even tell us about the contradictions of daily life? Honestly, this one photo is the perfect starting point for our entire visual journey.
All right, first up, the ever-present state. We're talking about the ideological backdrop. See, to really begin to understand what's going on, you have to start with the most visible layer of all, and that's the constant messaging from the state and the Communist Party. And trust me, it is everywhere you look.
If you walk through pretty much any city, you're going to see banners just like this one. And let's be clear, this isn't just some nice decoration. It's basically a political lesson on a construction fence. This one is pushing something called the Four Consciousnesses, which includes political consciousness, core consciousness, and so on. This is ideology literally woven into the fabric of the city. And this isn't just a city thing, not by a long shot. I mean, look at this incredible scene. You've got this absolutely breathtaking mountain landscape, and then boom, right there at the bottom, a small police station and a bright orange sign talking about party building to guide rural revitalization. It's such a clear signal that the party's vision reaches way, way out into every corner of the country. So this ideology, it's not just on temporary banners, sometimes it's literally set in stone. Well, okay, in this case, it's a huge, permanent red monument in a public space. What you're looking at is the actual oath for joining the Communist Party, along with all the rights and duties of a member. It's a political pledge that's been transformed into public art.
Okay, I love this one because the juxtaposition is just perfect. On one side, you have these big symbols of the party. Follow the party forever. Build the China dream. And then right next to it, a super practical sign telling tourists the wait for the cable car is about 30 minutes. You've got party ideology and the simple logistics of daily life sitting right next to each other.
Okay, next section, a framework of order, security in plain sight. So all that ideological messaging we just saw, it exists inside another really visible layer, and that's this framework of order. It's the system of security and social management that you can see everywhere, and it's just as present as the political slogans. And this brings us to a really key question, and I want you to just keep this in the back of your mind as we look at these next few images. What does it actually mean when something like riot gear just becomes a normal part of the everyday scenery? Just look at this. Here you've got a police riot shield sitting casually among the terracotta warriors, an absolutely priceless historical treasure. The officer is standing guard. It's such a powerful image, isn't it? You've got the ancient guardians of an emperor right alongside the modern guardians of the state. And it's not just at major tourist sites. This cart, filled with anti-riot equipment, is just stored inside a regular Bank of Beijing branch. And notice how it's treated like any other piece of office furniture, like a fire extinguisher or a first aid kit. It's just there. And here we go again. Same kind of thing, this time parked right at the entrance of a local business on a public street. This kind of visible preparedness becomes a totally normalized part of the commercial landscape. It really suggests there's this underlying expectation of maintaining order at all times. Now, this framework of order goes way beyond riot shields. It's in public notices everywhere. You see signs in hotels that explicitly forbid illegal activities, posters that establish no drone zones during public events, or all those banners during the pandemic that urged people not to travel. There are even official structured channels for people to file grievances, a system known as Sinfang. It's a society with very clearly posted rules. This image, wow, it just captures the overlap perfectly. You have an armed guard in full tactical gear watching over a super busy shopping area. And right below him, life is just humming along. People are shopping, chatting, strolling. The framework of security isn't separate from daily life. It's embedded right in the middle of it. So this brings us to the vibrant society that actually functions within that framework. Let's take a look at the pulse of daily life, the commerce, the community, and the culture that fills all these structured spaces with so much energy. And you can really feel that energy in the country's infrastructure. I mean, this is a high-speed rail station at night. It is vast, it's modern, it's incredibly efficient. It's really a symbol of a nation on the move, connecting hundreds of millions of people at unbelievable speeds. In the cities, you see this fascinating blend of the global and the local. Here's a KFC, a brand we all know, but look how it's seamlessly built into a building with traditional Chinese architectural details. This isn't just an American brand dropped into China. It's been adapted, creating this really unique hybrid look. And public spaces are truly public. Here, you've got a group of people, mostly older women, doing what's called square dancing. It's a hugely popular way to exercise and socialize, and they're doing it right in front of this massive China Construction Bank building. This is community life happening right in the heart of the commercial city. So we've seen the state and we've seen the community. But for our final section, let's zoom all the way in on the individual. Because amidst all of that collective messaging, you find another really powerful force at play: the call of personal aspiration and identity. And this is where we get to a fascinating tension. On the left, there's that banner we saw earlier calling for collective political consciousness. But on the right, you have this bright, bold ad for a service that helps students study abroad. And it's the message on that ad that's so striking. Refuse the cookie-cutter application. I want to write my personality. I mean, that is an incredible message to find in a public space. It's a direct appeal to individualism, right? A celebration of what makes a person unique. And it stands in such stark tension with the collectivist slogans. And it's not a one-off. Here's another ad from that same company. It asks, does everyone want to go to the Ivy League? I just want the apple of my eye. It's another powerful appeal to follow your own personal dream, not just the path that everyone else thinks is prestigious. So how do we square these two powerful currents, the collective and the individual? Well, perhaps the answer is hinted at in this final image. This is a massive banner hanging over the border crossing between the mainland and Macau. It's a message directly from the state, aimed at everyone passing through. And the message is this: always take the people's aspiration for a better life as the goal to strive for. This is really the state's ultimate promise. It suggests that the entire framework we've just seen, the ideology, the order, is all supposed to be in service of this one single goal: helping people achieve a better life. But that, of course, brings us to our final, huge question. When you see an ad that says, I want to write my personality, and a government that promises to fulfill the people's aspiration, what does that better life truly look like? And what is the perfect balance between the goals of the collective and the dreams of the individual? That right there is the central question written on the walls of modern China.